everyone, my name is Miranda and today I am here to review the latest episode of Scream Queens, which did not fail to live up to the expectation I had that people were starting to get picked off like flies. If you were looking for a nice, quiet slumber party, you were in for the wrong show right there. So starting off, oh no, it's the Spoiler Eagle! If you haven't seen the new episode of Scream Queens and don't want to be spoiled, go away now! Anyway, so the episode picked off after the presidential elections when it was decided that Zayday and Chanel were going to be co-presidents because there was a tie, but Chanel revealed that she actually wanted Zayday to be president because now she thinks that, like, there's a target on the president of the Kappa house because they're being murdered, and, like, the president is obviously the first one to go, so she wants to give that position to Zayday so then she can remain safe. And Zayday, even though she doesn't know her full plan and she knows she can't trust Chanel, is more than thrilled to accept being co-president. She and Grace decide that as president, her first proclamation should be having an in-house slumber party so they can try and find out who knows something about the killer, because they're being smart and finally catching on that, like, someone here has to know something about the killer, so they decided to play truth or dare. But I mean, that candle girl, she pointed out very smartly that, like, if I was the killer, I would just pick truth and then I'd lie. And Chad's like, no, it's truth or dare. And she's like, but I'd pick truth and I'd lie. And he's like, no, you can't. You just don't get it. But things understandably took a horrible turn for the worse when the girls found out that they were locked inside because Chanel had basically, like, outfitted the entire house as a panic room, and the killer had somehow hacked the system or was already inside and just turned the system on and locked them all in there. So the Dicky Dollar Scholars, they came to rescue them. Our first casualty of the night happened in that armless man who got his arm sawed off a couple episodes ago. He finally succumbed to the Red Devil because he could not climb up the ladder because he didn't have arms, and he fell and Red Devil took care of him. And that was a little gory. I was surprised they could show that much. I was like, oh, that's so gross. But he was our first casualty of the night. So R.I.P. armless guy. You were great while we knew you. And then after that, all things were quiet for a little while until Sam, on the bad side of Chanel number 3, and was dared to go down and sleep in that creepy bathtub full of blood. And I was like, oh, that's so gross. But this was a really, really important moment because you knew as soon as she went down that she was getting killed. You're like, Sam, it was nice to know you, but goodbye, you're getting your head chopped off. But we got our first, like, clue kind of as to who the Red Devil could be, because she said, if you're gonna kill me, at least let me know who you are. And the Red Devil took his mask off and she was like, oh, I knew it. So it's clearly someone she knows, because it's not just like some random person, although we know there's like more than one Red Devil, so it could be someone she knows, but they're not the mastermind of everything. But then Sam was killed, and they flashed up to, like, where the party was happening, and it all happened very quickly. Like, I tried to see if someone was missing, but it was kind of, like, dark, and we really couldn't, like, tell if someone was missing. So I definitely think one of the girls is in on it that was up there. I'm just not sure who. I don't think they're, like, the mastermind, and I don't think Gigi is either. I think someone else is masterminding this, but I think one of the girls definitely helped, like, lock the house down and maybe even killed Sam, because they flashed up, like, randomly to, like, the girls. And like I said, I couldn't tell who was missing, but I feel like someone was missing. I'll have to watch that scene again. Hester was the one to discover the body, which made Chanel think that she was the killer. But then as soon as they were accusing Hester of that, Chanel number 5 was with Dodger, Roger, whichever brother didn't die in the last episode. She was upstairs with him, and he's just doing his own thing, mourning his brother, saying how he misses him or whatever. And all of a sudden, Red Devil comes out with a nail gun and shoots him like 25 times in the face until he's out of nails, and then just leaves and kills Chanel number 5 for some reason, which is very interesting to me. Either she's in on it, she knows someone that's in on it, or there's like a certain pecking order they're going by. It's interesting when you think about that. Actually, the Dicky brothers have been killed more than the actual Kappa girls have been killed, which makes sense because, you know, the Kappa girls are the main stars of the show. But it's just funny that, like, he left Chanel number 5 alone and, like, actually waited and showed that he was out of nails and he couldn't shoot her. So everyone comes running upstairs. Chanel now accuses Chanel number 5 of being the killer because everyone's like, oh, it's a coincidence that you just happen to be here and the Red Devil didn't take you, which I do think is a coincidence, but I don't think number 5 is in on it, just because that was some very good acting. If it was, she was very, very upset about that. And Chad discovers that there is actually a secret tunnel that Chanel knew about but never felt she needed to mention to anyone, that goes down like this really awesome tunnel system. So even though they're all locked in there and there probably is someone on the inside that's working with them, that's also how the Red Devil is getting in and out. He doesn't have to go through the doors or the windows or anything. So Zayday and Chanel decide to go down there to try and hunt him down, but I was like, they didn't bring any weapons. I was like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit him with the candle? And then they put the candle down, and I was like, what is happening? I was like, I would not put that candle down even when she put the lights on, because I was like, those lights are gonna go off. I can guarantee, I can feel it, and I would not leave that candle, and I would go down with like a machete. Like, you could not convince me to go down there without at least some type of weapon, but that's what they did, and I was like, have at it. And then, surprise, surprise, the Red Devil showed up, and they were like, oh no, what do we do? Because they didn't have any weapons, and the Red Devil had 2 axes, and I was like, this is why we need proper planning. You can't just run into situations. Chanel managed to get away, but Zayday got trapped by the killer, and you were like, oh no, Zayday's gonna get it, even though she's a main character, and she's clearly gonna be safe until at least the final 7 episodes. And then, right as you think she's gonna get it, Chanel comes and knocks the Red Devil over the face with the vase, and I was just like, okay, awesome moment, but he was knocked out, so I was like, why did no one take his mask off just to see who it is? Like, I was like, oh, I was so irritated. I was like, grab the mask! Grab it so you can see who it is! But they just left. And Chanel, I feel like it showed a good side of her. I was like, yay, she saved Zayday, because I feel like she may not care about like Chanel number 5, Chanel number 3, but I think she respects people who stand up to her. So I think she respects Zayday and she respects Grace because they stand up to her, and I think she knows that like ultimately they're going to be the 2 to survive because they're smart and they're not stupid. So she definitely wants to like get in with them. And the night came to a close, and in what was a very, very awesome moment, I feel like Chanel gifted all of the girls pink nunchucks to protect themselves, and she said that from now on they're not running, they're not hiding, they're taking the fight to these Red Devils. They're gonna put their heads out on spikes like Game of Thrones and show that no one can mess with them. It's a really cool turning moment because they're no longer gonna be afraid of the Red Devil, and they're no longer gonna be just waiting for him to come get them. They're gonna take the fight to them, and I think that's so cool because this means we're definitely gonna start like finding out more information. I think the fact that we have like 2, possibly 3 Red Devils definitely opens up options where like even if we find out who one Red Devil is by like say like the mid-winter break or whatever, we can still like not know who the real one is, like who's masterminding it, but we can definitely like start to find out maybe who the second Red Devil is and stuff like that, or they can find out that Gigi's the Red Devil or whatever. So I'm really, really interested to see how this is gonna go. If you haven't seen the new episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments and your predictions for who the killer is. Pete was not there, suspiciously. He was studying all night, and then we saw a text from him at the end to Grace that said he was done studying as soon as the killings were done, so that was suspicious, and I still, as much as I like Pete, I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more. Also, subscribe to my channel down below to be told when I make all sorts of new videos. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!